what's going on, YouTubers? It's the Natural Born Driller, and welcome everyone to WWE 205 Live Review, the show from September 10th, 2019. And this will be the WWE Clash of Champions Go Home Show edition for 205 Live, where it pertains to the WWE Cruiserweight Championship match that's going to be happening between Drew Gulak, the champion himself, defending against not only against Humberto Carrillo, but also Lince Dorado in the triple threat match for this coming Sunday. Well, by the time this recording, it's tomorrow on Sunday. But yeah, they're in Madison Square Garden in New York City, New York. Their commentators were Vic Joseph, Aiden English, and there was no Nigel McGuinness because, as we find out from coming to the show, Nigel McGuinness will no longer be commentating for 205 Live. Instead, it will be Dilo Madden. I guess that's how I say it. But yeah, I thought he was pretty good on commentary. And of course, he's trained at the Performance Center of NXT, and I think he was a football player, from the NFL, if I'm not mistaken. But he was pretty good on commentary though. He was very passionate as a commentator, and I thought he did a fine job as a commentator there. But and again, I don't know how good he is in the ring because he obviously came to the WWE to wrestle. With being on at the Performance Center, being trained and everything. So yeah, don't know how he is in the ring, but on commentary, pretty good. I thought he did a smooth job on commentary there. But what pertains to his role on commentary, it's not gonna be that long anyways because of what I'm hearing about 205 Live. It's gonna be canceled pretty soon, which is gonna be unfortunate. But well, I guess we'll see what happens with that one. But that being said, let's get to the show here itself. We got D. Brian Kendrick and Akira Tozawa versus Gentleman Jack Gallagher and a partner that he has to choose. So Gentleman Jack Gallagher comes out, and he's basically was calling out D. Brian Kendrick by saying, or D. Brian Kendrick saying that Gentleman Jack Gallagher was basically dodging his challenge and everything, but in reality he was really injured. I think he may have a minor concussion, if I'm not mistaken. That was probably the injury that he was going through. So unless it was some other injury that he was going through, that he's cleared to compete, because he couldn't compete against Cassius Ohno at Takeover. I mean not Takeover. At a regular NXT UK show, and he couldn't compete what pertains to accepting the challenge of D. Brian Kendrick's challenge that he laid out, where it pertains to Jim and Jack Gallagher's got to find a partner of his choosing. So basically, he calls him by making a big mistake by allowing him to pick his partner, because he had a long time, pertains to him being out for that long, to find himself a right partner to face D. Brian Kendrick and Akira Tozawa. And out comes Kushida, the time splitter. The time splitter himself, Kushida, comes out. Now we got some crowds, the majority of the crowds chanting for and clapping for Kushida. Other than that, the rest of the crowds, basically, what pertains to the crowds, 5% of the crowds were happy to see Kushida, but 95% of those crowds have no clues and have no ideas who is Kushida. And that right there is a prime example of the WWE fans don't watch anything else outside of the company. They always watch WWE and nothing else. It's supposed to be a big night for Kushida's debut, not just on 205 Live, but also at the world's most famous arena of Madison Square Garden. And this was the reaction he got. Once again, it just goes to show they don't watch New Japan, they don't watch Ring of Honor, because Kushida wrestled at Ring of Honor, and most likely he's been known in Japan because he's from Japan. But yeah, and also he's and that's another thing too. Where it takes him on NXT, because he's part of WWE Rock, and he's part of NXT. You would think that some fans will pop for Kushida because they know who he is from NXT. But here's the thing too, Kushida is barely on NXT to know that he's even in the company of the WWE, because for some reason Kushida has not been appearing on NXT for God knows what reason why he hasn't been on there. But whatever, I digress. Oh, I just saw something cool. But anyway, so yeah, but besides that, we had D. Brian Kendrick and Akira Tozawa versus Gentleman Jack Gallagher and Kushida. Match itself was good, but again, the crowds give no reactions to Kushida. Like I said, only 5% of the crowds did give a reaction to Kushida, but 95% of those crowds did not give a crap about Kushida because they don't know who he is, because all they do is watch WWE and nothing else. They basically these type of fans live vicariously by only watching WWE because WWE has neutered them to only watch their product and no other products, and that's a problem. But in the end, Kushida was pretty good. Obviously, this match was good too. By the way, in the end, it was Kushida getting the win on Deep Brown Kendrick with the hoverboard the hoverboard lock, I meant to say. And yeah, Gentleman Jack Gallagher and Kushida gets the win, and there you go. The Sin Brothers were talking about something I didn't care because I skipped it. We see Mike Kanellis being interviewed by Sarah Scrapper. I don't know how to say her last name. I try to say her last name, folks. I just can't do it. Maybe some in the future I probably will, but I don't know. I gotta keep listening to her last name just to get her last name right. So, but anyways, Mike Kanellis is being interviewed about pertains to the whole Tony Nese situation about getting a victory over Tony Nese. He says that he's gone on, and he basically goes on by saying he got in Tony Nese's head, and it's not his problem. What pertains to Tony Nese's issues, whatever. Maria Kanellis shows up and says to him, Mike Kanellis, that even though you won the match, but you took full advantage and whatever. And I don't care about this at all. Anyways, it was stupid, folks. Just the way they're doing this, whole thing with Mike Kanellis and Maria Kanellis, whatever. So then we get to Humberto Carrillo making his way to the ring, as also Lince Dorado comes out as well. They come out together. All of a sudden, Drew Gulak and Tony Nese attacks him from behind. All of a sudden, they start fighting back, and then Ariya Daivari comes into the fight on behalf of Drew Gulak and Tony Nese. And all of a sudden, we hear Grand Metalik coming out with Jason Lucha House Party team playing. I thought it was going to be Lince. I thought it was going to be Orton Lorcan, but I guess they're selling the fact that Orton Lorcan was injured and he couldn't compete because of the hands of Tony Nese from last week. So Humberto Carrillo got on the microphone after on the fight stopped for a little bit, and he says, you three versus three of us right now, and all that, and they accept, and the match ends up being a 6-man tag team match for this main event. Humberto Carrillo, Lince Dorado, and Grand Metalik versus Drew Gulak, Tony Nese, and Ariya Daivari, and this match was good too. In the end, it was Humberto Carrillo getting the win. I'm sorry, not it was actually Lince Dorado getting the win over on Drew Gulak to get the win over Drew Gulak for his teams. So Lince Dorado, Humberto Carrillo, and Grand Metalik wins the match by defeating Drew Gulak, Tony Nese, and Ariya Daivari. And this right there, folks, telegraphs that Lince Dorado getting the pin on Drew Gulak means that Drew Gulak is going to retain at Clash of Champions pre-show. That's what I meant to do. But yeah, basically, Humberto Carrillo, Lince Dorado, and Grand Metalik stands tall as the babyface ends the show with some momentum there. But between Humberto Carrillo and Lince Dorado, and there you go. Obviously, Tournament Wrestling was 2 matches. Now the focus is back. But yeah, 2 matches for the show for WWE 205 Live on September 10th, 2019. So I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10. Good show. Could have been better. I'm just saying. But there you go. And that being said, folks, thank you for watching. For It's the Natural Born Driller, saying peace on the streets. For this was your WWE 205 Live review, where it pertains to the Clash of Champions Go Home Show edition for this review. Until next time, we're to WWE 205 Live review. I'm out.